Well, there you have it, folks. Be careful. There should be a pretty big move to the upside at the end of the day, and we'll have multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. That's an entry point for a short position. And like I said to people who are on the alerts channel, my Discord already knows this, but I pretty much I figured out. I feel pretty strongly I've cracked the code on the relative opens, which I've been pretty not so great at in the past. I'm pretty sure I cracked the code. Tomorrow, this is very likely not a higher open. This is much more likely to be a lower open. So with that said, opportunity in the midst of a notable move higher, ending a decline here at the end of the day. Notable move higher, opportunity to open up that short position. Depending on if you've got what type of long position you have, it might make sense to close long position there. Not necessarily going to be for a profit, but I think I'm pretty sure we go lower tomorrow. It's very likely to be the lowest low thus far. Well, it already is, but very likely to be like a bottom there, and then we revisit it at some point in the week. We might even go lower at the end of the week. Hard to say until we see when we get there. It'll be dependent on how low we go here. If you're new to the channel, guys, ask any questions. Anyone possibly able to bless me with a meal? I'm not really sure what you're asking, dude, but this is a place to ask questions about things that you want a psychic response for. We run roughly a 98% accuracy. I mean, that message could be a scam, guys. Just so you know, whoever this person is asking for I mean, this, I wouldn't say don't go investigate because it's somebody asking for a meal, but just be careful because there's a lot of scams on when people post random stuff like that on the chat. Could easily be a scam. In any case, so we've been pretty solid today, guys. If you were following around on our Discord, then you knew that we were going south here pretty notably. You might have been in a straddle rather than just short. And if you were in a straddle, even so, you still made money. That's one thing that I've learned about the edge of Mercury retrograde is that often there's almost always a reversal there to the downside. It's not always to the downside, but there's almost always a reversal there when we go into the storm. And there's also almost always like this reason to doubt that there's a reversal there. Like it's almost like uncanny with Mercury retrograde. So the best way to handle it so that you don't end up doing something silly and making the wrong decision is to just open a straddle at the beginning of a Mercury retrograde. And a straddle makes money when there's high volatility. And that's the only thing that you can count on entering into a Mercury retrograde. The only thing that you can expect, everything else, like anything's on the table. The only thing you can expect is going to be an increase in volatility. And as we move towards that moment when Mercury becomes station, that's when there's it gets most intense right until the moment of station or day of station. There's kind of like a pause, and then it's intense again the next day, but it starts to peter out into Mercury retrograde. And then as we approach the other end of Mercury retrograde, where the planet goes stationary in the sky again, it starts to get more and more intense until right before the day of station. And then day of station, it's kind of like chills out. Day after station, intensity, but it starts to wean out as we move out of the post shadow period. That works like clockwork, guys. And I spent years of my life watching Mercury retrograde and trading the S&P 500. This is actually how ESOMeta, the system of ESOMeta, started, with me utilizing Mercury retrograde storms as guaranteed moments of volatility where you can make a lot of money really fast. And I started focusing my tarot spreads around that, combining the astrology and the tarot together. people who follow me know it's so much more than just tarot. If you took everything else out of it and just the tarot component of ESOMeta, there's still an underlying piece of that normal tarot doesn't ever like. It doesn't come to that. Doesn't utilize it that way. There's it's like a secondary system. So we use the tarot the way it's classically used, and we use the ESOMeta system. But then on top of that, there's all sorts of other extrasensory techniques and esoteric sciences that we use. Ruins, reverse clairvoyant anchors, clairvoyance, clairsentience. I mean, a ton of stuff, guys. Remote viewing. All of these things together combine into what's ESOMeta analysis, allowing us to see by the hour pretty much what happens. I was a little off my game today because I didn't see it going down quite as steeply. I thought we had like a secondary opportunity, which we didn't. But I was still in a straddle, so big deal. I'm still making money right now, even though there was that little bit of wasted money to the upside. You could say it was wasted, or you could say that it helped to manage my risk tolerance. And in a case like that, it wasn't wasted at all. Hey, Robert, how does Monotoken look first week of August? What the heck? What the hell is going on here? Why is my computer constantly bugging out? Jesus. Mercury retrograde in my computer. All right, here we go. So the question, first week of August, what's Monotoken? Where's its price level in relation to now, to its current price level? Current price level is 33 cents, just over 33 cents USD. So in first week of August, significantly higher. We should be in a rally that increases with momentum moving forward in time. So it looks like there's a buy in there. Doesn't mean we don't go lower beforehand, but between now and then, we should be to the upside by the time we get to early August. Hey, Magic Mountain 33. Actually, that kind of went south, my friend. But I'm still doing pretty solid. That was like, it was a combination of a few things, and the inspiration that I gained from that individual is still there. I still talk to her, but Card said that that it wasn't meant to be that way, so I didn't want to waste her time. I was like, let's just be friends, so we're friends now. But she's a great person, one of the most quality individuals I met. Actually, probably the most quality woman I met since I moved to New York. Moved back to New York. So glad to be her friend. Interesting. Same thing happened to you. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely something astrological going on, because this girl pretty much seemed like she was exactly what I was intending to manifest, but there was a couple of holes, pretty big, serious holes in that manifestation, so still working on it. Interesting, it must have been an astrological thing. Yeah, so still going south. This isn't a point at which I'd want to chase a decline, guys. If there's anybody like, oh man, should I hop in? I mean, my sense is that we go lower at least by tomorrow, but at some point today, this decline will end with a fast sudden move higher and then multiple failed attempts to break through resistance. So you would want to look for that as your entry point if you're trying to chase this decline. You want to say hi to everybody, buddy? You're such a cutie, you know. He's such a cutie, you know. Yeah, I know. You just want to go to sleep, huh? You're such a good boy, Hermes. Yeah, he really is my best friend. You're such a good boy, you know. I know. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. I've got one more reading to record. Shibcoin for September, one more reading. All the others have been done. In September, we've got Theta Coin coming out. We've got Delta Airlines for September. We've got Apple for September, Amazon, Bitcoin, XRP, Shibcoin, Theta Coin, or Theta Network, I should say, Tesla, Google. All of those are on a monthly basis. If you're interested in the paid version where all of the trades are basically placed like a month in advance for you to get a plan, you can plan ahead basically. The trades are all there in the members version. You go to our website, Tarot for Traders, click on order now, click on subscriptions. You want all paid right in the middle, click here to order. This is currently on sale for $300. It's normally $500. My web designer's trying to figure out how to make it say on sale, but it's currently on sale for $300. That's $300 a month, $200 off a month for the lifetime of the subscription. You should steal that while there's an opportunity, guys. Like our win rating on actual trade advisement, our win rating's like in the 90s. I don't know anybody with win rating like that. There must be somebody. There must be. I can't be the only one. There's got to be a few people on the inside the candle network, I'm sure, that have a win rating up pretty high. Can I go over Boeing and Amazon? Hey, AV. Boeing, Amazon, and Netflix. Okay, so any sort of rally tomorrow in Boeing. Matter of fact, I can even look at the daily for you this month for Boeing. All right, so for Boeing, yeah, so there's more decline in Boeing. Um, there's more decline there, and then I think we probably even have a lower price level at some point in the beginning of the week there. But I would look for tomorrow, look for any opportunity in Boeing to open up a short position for an over the weekend swing. That's looking like a pretty solid trade, guys. An over the weekend short swing. I wouldn't even wait for the low. I would close out of it like as soon as there's a nice profit. Maybe could even be first thing in the morning. It might be a bullish day. It's probably a bullish day overall, so the decline's probably over the weekend. I would say that's a solid short trade. All right, so Amazon. I figured out why when I would double click on these tabs, it would revert back to an old chart most of the time. Because I wasn't making new like charts for different tickers. So now that shouldn't happen, but I have to create them as we go. Interesting. Beginning of the month. Sometimes things like you have to wait for some of the time to transpire so that things like clarify. Like this was very why this was pointing over here was really difficult to determine, but now it makes a lot of sense. So out of a low tomorrow, be careful. There's an intentional fake out or shakeout of some kind tomorrow in Amazon. We're revisiting a support level that we recently met, so it could be that we're coming up on that 100-day moving average again tomorrow, or it could mean that we come all the way down to like here. Let's see what happens. Wow, I got two cards, both cards saying support, sideways rotation at support, and that's even. I got the Emperor card and the Prince of Discs, and then when you look at the 1 month, what do we got? So there should be sideways rotation and some sort of like fake out early in the morning. A big move out of a low to the upside. And it looks like we do go lower than we currently are. But this actually looks like we might come back to like a price level over here around the 22nd, 23rd. Let me see. Well, this looks like a pretty solid trade as well. Probably, so if you're new to the channel, what I just put on the screen, that green ellipse, basically a green ellipse on the chart indicating where I expect a peak or crest to form. Usually there's a reversal. Sometimes it's just where the price level will go and we continue higher, but I would specify in a case like that. And then Netflix. Hey, it was luck. I'll get to you in just a moment. And by the way, all these charts that I'm making that are dedicated to specific tickers or crypto, the links to these live updated charts are on our Discord, which you get access to if you're one of our paying subscribers or if you're an angel investor. Okay, so there should be, as far as like the remainder of the month, there should be like, we declined to a support level that we recently met once before. It looks like we're pretty close to that. It might be this support right here. Let me see. So roughly the 630 price level, around here, 630, 633. And we should do like sideways rotation along that, but then just towards like the beginning of the last week, we have this big move to the upside. It'll really stand out on a 1 year chart scale. And then right at, that'll take us to a peak, and then right on the cusp there, we'll have the halting of a bullish trend marked by a sharp decline into August. But as far as earnings, I would want to be in a partial long position for this right now, because we probably go a little lower, like I said, to that support level, which I should mark off. Roughly there. And at that point, when we meet that level, I would complete a long position and look to close out of that long position in the midst of that big move to the upside. All right, so the market's reaction to, or the reaction to Netflix earnings. I got the Fool card. All right, let me see. Let me try again. That means there's a really notable opportunity based on earnings. To the downside. We go to the downside. Yeah, see, so here's this move to the upside. There's about 20 minutes left. Like I said, there would be a move to the upside ending the decline. And then we'll have multiple failed attempts to break through resistance. It could be this resistance right here. See, like I was off on my ellipse today. I nailed all of the ellipses yesterday. Even like narrowed it down to that. But today, I missed it. I got the timing, but the price level was definitely off a bit. Anyhow, let's see. Is that the resistance? Bingo. Right here. This would be the multiple failed attempts to break through resistance is my sense. somewhere around there. Can I guide on Apple, Nvidia, and BAC Friday next week? If you just hopped on, Apple's one of the ones we're going to be covering in September on a monthly basis. I just did the September reading. We recorded it anyways. If you have early access, you'll be seeing the September readings very, very shortly. I don't have a July though, right? I don't have a July for Apple, obviously. It's pretty erratic tomorrow. There's a crest that we revisit in the midst of that erratic behavior. There's a crest that we revisit that was an opportunity. Sideways fluidity on Monday. And then it looks like there's a move to the upside on Tuesday, but it's more of an opportunity to open up a short. Oops. All right, so NVIDIA, the question was Friday and next week more overall bullish or bearish? So we successfully create support tomorrow. It looks like it's probably to the downside, but we successfully create support, and then on the following week we have a rally increasing with momentum moving forward in time. That was NVIDIA. And then BAC, ugh, I hate this bank. Why are we even bothering with this bank? Ugh. Such a bad juju this bank has. Does anybody else feel that about Bank of America? It's so thick, this like bad karma feeling about it. I'm not a fan of this bank. Hey Raymond, hey Angvin. All right, so BAC. Like literally the only bank that got away scot-free during the subprime crisis. I hope you guys know that. Literally they had zero repercussions. They weren't involved. Give me a break. Bad juju. All right, so for tomorrow, huge move to the upside, pushing the upper end of range higher. So I think what happens is we open lower and there's this big move pushing us back up to like price levels from today, but not all the way to the top. And then overall for next week, failed attempt at resistance followed by a decline through key support. That's on the scale of a multi-day. Do I see a continuation of the bearish pattern in SPY tomorrow? So tomorrow, my sense is that I'm wrong on this open, which just in the last few days, I feel I pretty much cracked the code. You have to understand, this indicator was placed in this photo May 23rd. So it's now July, 2 months have gone by, and I finally cracked the code on the opens. So a lot of these opens are, there's like a 50-50 shot they'll be right, the opens. But moving forward from like September, I pretty much nailed them now. So my sense is that that is probably to the downside instead of the upside. Wow, could we go higher? I guess we could go much higher here. Matter of fact, guys, it is possible. It's possible that we go all the way to the top. Let me see. There's a good chance that that's the high at the end of the day. Let me see. No. We don't go all the way to the top. Is this the resistance here then? Yeah. Right here. This is the resistance. $55, 554.46. Somewhere around here, guys. Like, I'm going to put it in between. So, like, roughly there. 55.395. Around that price level. That's resistance that we have failed attempts to break through. And then we should have opportunity tomorrow. The 19th is the day that I predicted that Biden would be replaced by Kamala. And hopefully everybody knows what happened yesterday. He was diagnosed with COVID. I said it would be health related. I remember this reading was done back in May, so 2 months ago, I predicted this. I think we probably have more decline. There's more decline throughout most of the day. I would probably go for the low here, between 1 and 2-ish. I would probably exit shorts here. Either if there's a big drop over the weekend, I would just close out at the open because there's some bullish behavior early on. But if there isn't a big drop, I'd probably wait for the Empress card here towards the 2 o'clock hour. That's correct, Finn. In the midst of this move to the upside is when you want to open up. This is your opportunity to open up a short in anticipation of a lower price level tomorrow, as indicated by the little angel in the placement up here with this big move, this ruin indicating a big move to the upside, the Knight of Cups indicating the end of a decline with a big move to the upside, and then we've got multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. That's multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. So let's look at it on a 1 month scale. We had one attempt. Oh, look at that. I absolutely nailed it right there. That's one attempt. We should have another attempt at least. Multiple means more than one, right? So I would look for opportunity around this resistance, this 55.3-ish, 55.4, to open up a short position for an overnight swing. Oh, sorry, Proof. I missed you. I missed your question. Bitcoin lower tomorrow? Yeah, Bitcoin is lower tomorrow. I'm looking at Tesla. What is this? Why is Tesla on my Bitcoin screen? Yeah, we go lower tomorrow. Yeah, I smoked this reading, guys. So I had a high here on the first second. We have a high here on the first second. Trough on the 5th. I have it for the 6th. Another trough there on the 8th. I have it for the 9th. Well, I have it for the 8th and or the 9th. And then one more where we came down around the 12th, 13th. Didn't come down quite as far. But we did take this big move to highest highs. Really smoked this reading, guys. Absolutely smoked this reading. And now in the members version, as of September, the members version of the monthlies has the day-by-day sequence of events of chart behavior. That way, just in case we are plus or minus a day here or there on timing in some cases, like in a couple of the points here, if you follow the sequence of events, that'll keep you on track in cases like that. Can I guide on Amet and Meta? All right, guys, I'm going to cut the questions here. Actually, Looks like there's sideways rotation in Meta tomorrow, probably establishing support and then a big move off of that. We've got an important low next week on a multi-day scale, so we go lower next week, it looks like, in Meta. AMAT. Ooh, that's a hard one to read. I got the peace card, but that's a little tough to read. So that probably means that this decline kind of ends tomorrow in AMAT, at least temporarily. Actually, and then there should be a move to the upside next week. Yeah, out of a decline next week, there's a big move from the bottom of range to the top of range, and that's on a multi-day scale. All right, last question, QQQ. Will it reach lower than 470 tomorrow? I got a yes for that. Below 470. I would make sure that I'm in a short position before the close, guys. Even if we don't come back to this, I'd want to be in a short. So pretty much, yeah, there should be more movement to the upside. And I was right about being wrong today, too. I said that we would open higher and that this was wrong, and I was correct. That's SPY, and that's the live session for today, my friends. We're on every day between 3 and 4. Usually hop on. Blessings to all my angel investors. Yeah, guys, we don't. I don't support asking for money on my channel. If you want to ask somebody to buy you a meal, that's a different story. But this isn't the place to be asking people for money.